Travis Wayne Goodsell. This video is a summation. I spent 2 hours researching the bombshell I discovered. So what I would ask of you guys who have clicked on this video, if you want me to upload the 2 hours of video research that I'm doing for this video, if you will put a like for this video. You will not see the like, and if you put a dislike, it won't have any factor in my decision making. I need to see a number of likes. The highest likes I've seen for a video of mine is 9. So I don't get many of them, but it may be because you guys realize that my likes don't appear for you to look at. That's to prevent bullying by those who come on the site only to put in a dislike, thinking that they're going to stop people from coming to my videos. But this is a bombshell, and if you want to find the research behind this bombshell that I'm about to share with you, put a like. Again, it's 2 hours of me doing the research, searching around, trying to confirm, trying to disprove my own theories. and so if you can stand going through that process with me, then please put a like on the video for that purpose only. If you just like the bombshell report, don't put a like if you don't want me to upload the research. This is only for the 2-hour research video. So I hope you understand that. I hope I'm clear enough in explaining that. Put a like on this video if you want me to upload the 2 hours of the research. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's get to the reason why you clicked on this video. The priesthood restoration site. The church has been leading us to believe that that was the site where Joseph Smith was at, where he met Emma Smith. Now that's a difference between the restoration of the priesthood later on. We're talking about when Joseph was working for Josiah Stoll and met Emma. Okay? I had published from my research that the Harmony, Pennsylvania was just north of Pittsburgh. Because that's the only Harmony that exists in Google Maps. The other Harmony over by the Susquehanna appears, and I go over this in the 2 hours, appears to be called such because of the church. The United Methodist Church does not exist in the church's Harmony, Pennsylvania, because Emma and her family were Methodists. And Joseph Smith is well known in anti-X, etc., to have gone to the Methodist Church after he went and had his first vision and was told, all Christianity is false, don't go to their churches. And so this is This is pivotal in understanding correct church history. I'm not to the bombshell yet. And so I cannot confirm the priesthood restoration site as the Harmony, Pennsylvania that Joseph is referring to when he worked for Josiah Stoll and met Emma. I can continue, and I confirmed my original research that he did reside in the Harmony north of Pittsburgh. I found the United Methodist Church there and confirmed that there was an existence during the correct time frame. The Methodists have no record, at least over in Susquehanna. I don't know if anybody's checked this other church records. We need somebody to check those. That's just come to light to me. Because, for example, the church in Fayette was organized in 1830, April 6th, but there's no record of it. Likewise, there's no record of Joseph Smith and Emma attending the Methodist Church anywhere. It's not on the records. But are they only looking at those records? Again, I cannot confirm there's a Methodist church there during Joseph's time. Cannot confirm it. Google search shows a Methodist church there, but there's no building. There's nothing there. It's all forest with trees right next to each other. Thick forest. We're not yet to the bombshell. This is important in understanding where Joseph Smith would have come in contact with Sidney Rigdon. Because Sidney Rigdon wrote the Book of Mormon. This is confirmed. We know this as fact. Linguistics have confirmed, a computer has confirmed Sidney Rigdon is the author of the Book of Mormon. And the first Doctrine and Covenants scripture indicates that they had made contact that summer after the destruction of the 116 pages, that they had made contact with Sidney Rigdon in 1828. And so Joseph would have been in the area of Harmony of Pittsburgh when Sidney Rigdon was in Pittsburgh. So that confirms my original research. Here's the bombshell. The church are the only ones who are making the claim that in 1919 the homes of Joseph and Emma and the Hale family in the other Harmony was burned down. Understanding that, the church are the only ones making the claim. Again, the current Susquehanna is reporting what the church has been telling them from the Joseph Smith papers. The Joseph Smith papers, I go through this in the 2 hours. I went over it. Joseph talks about Harmony, Susquehanna County, Pennsylvania, the first time. The second time he mentions that location, he leaves out Harmony. The third and the fourth times, he only says Pennsylvania. I go over the explanation in the videos. The bombshell, though, is that the church between 1947 and 1950 something, 54, 57, purchased land in that area. And over in the 60s they purchased more land, and then 2002 they purchased more land. It was not until 2011 when the church announced they were going to rebuild the homes of the Hales and Joseph and Emma based on one photograph of an unknown photographer who claims it's from that area. And taken in 1887, I think, or 83. And so that's the only information that we have is coming from the church and the church alone. I cannot confirm any local non-church related information, because everybody is getting their information from the church. So in 2011, the church made the announcement that they were going to rebuild the Hales and Smith and Emma's homes and call it the Priesthood Restoration Site. Did you catch that? The church manufactured a historical site. There is no confirmation that that is the site. There is no confirmation at all. The church is claiming this is the site and we're recreating it. They're not recreating it. They're creating the site and calling it the place where it all happened. That's the bombshell. Because I have confirmed further that the other Harmony is the site for when Joseph and Emma were together, and the Methodist church that they would have attended if there are records there. If they don't have records either, then Joseph may not have become a member, but was just attending and was booted out before becoming a member. That's also important information to understand. Because the Congregationalists that Smith Sr. was a part of in Vermont, they wait until a person's an adult, and the person themselves must claim to have a spiritual awakening of some kind and want to join as a member. Then the members who are already members then vote as to whether that person is legitimate and can become a member. This is why Joseph Sr. and William Cowdery never practiced polygamy. They never became members. So they could not participate in the joys of polygamy. But, again, like I did in the book, 3 denouncements of polygamy in the Book of Mormon and 1 in the Doctrine and Covenants in 1835. So it's clear they didn't have an interest in becoming members. They never had that awakening to become polygamous. And so Joseph Smith and William Cowdery were only interested in the divining rods and the stuff that other guy, who Justice Winchell, who joined Nathan Wood's New Israelite Church, which was a branch of a Congregationalist. He himself was a Congregationalist preacher. So, I cannot confirm the church. The whole site at the Priesthood Restoration site, as far as I can find so far, is a complete fraud. They made it all up. And I can see why, because Joseph, in the Joseph Smith papers, said Harmony, Susquehanna County, Pennsylvania. But the Susquehanna paper or whatever does indicate that there was a township there called Harmony, but I can't find it on Google Maps. It doesn't exist. Just like the United Methodist Church does not exist. And so I can only therefore conclude that the Susquehanna paper was paid off by the church to make the story claim that it was Harmony there. And that they're just going off of the church's information. Because the church bought the land, claiming that Joseph Smith said that's where it was. And so, by all appearances, in 2011, the church announced that they were going to create a narrative of history that did not happen, at least in the location. Now, as I go over the Joseph Smith papers, you also realize Joseph Smith is completely lying. He has to, in order to tell the story that he's telling, to prevent the real story from getting known to the public. And I go over those reasons in my book that I published. I don't go into them in the 2-hour video. And so, Nelson is the president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles in 2015. Newly made, might I add. Because Packer had died, leaving him to become the president of the Quorum of the 12. And I've gone over that in other videos talking about the signs in the heavens of the latter days. But Nelson is the one who dedicated this site. So it's Nelson specifically who is perpetuating this created, manufactured lie to the Mormons and to the world. For historians and people in Pennsylvania, the church is manufacturing a complete and utter lie. So that's it. That's the bombshell. I did it in 20 minutes from the 2 hours. But the video that caught my attention was what happened to the gold plates. The channel name is not the author, but if you type in YouTube, what happened to the gold plates, ? If I don't link you to that video, you can do it that way. But Jonathan Neville is the speaker, and he's the publisher of many books trying to get Mormons to believe that Solomon Spaulding's theory is the Book of Mormon theory. That Western New York, or well, actually the whole East Coast, whole east of the United States, is the Book of Mormon lands. He doesn't include Michigan, though. So he's incorrect, but he's in the range of confirming that Solomon Spaulding is the book that Joseph Sr. and Oliver Cowdery and Joseph Smith Jr. were all referring to. And he goes, I was doing notes on his video, was going to do a commentary of his video, and then he dropped the bombshell map. And I literally go into shock in the video. And I recognize that I've gone into shock because of my experiences of going into shock before. I go into shock. And so, that's where I find out about Harmony, Pennsylvania at the Priesthood Restoration site. Because that's not the Harmony that I knew and did my research on. So I do some confirming to verify mine, but also to verify the church's claim. And I can't do it. I can't verify the church's claim. They fail. Not only on the Hales farm, or family, or the Hales home, but also the United Methodist Church. I can't confirm them. And I go over how I do my research to confirm or deny. Because once you find something cannot be confirmed, you have to dismiss it as the conclusion. The Priesthood Restoration site, as the place where Joseph met Emma and they went to the Methodist Church, has to be dismissed. That's not the place. So, yeah, I mean, it was incredible. I mean, the guy was coming out with a whole bunch of stuff for me to comment on, and then 18 minutes in his hour video, it's an hour video, by the way, 18 minutes into his video lecture, that's when I said, okay, I gotta stop. I gotta figure this out. So, again, if you want to see the whole research of how I came up with what I'm telling you, because just what I'm telling you, you're like, yeah, but I don't see the facts, Travis. Where are you getting your sources from? And blah, blah, blah. Click like. And if I get a ton of likes, I will upload the videos for you, showing you the research, how I go through it, how I confirm. And yes, you'll see me stumble, but I correct myself and catch myself, and as I'm confirming and confirming and confirming to make sure that I got that right. And so, Bombshell, the church manufactured a historical site, so that years in the future, if archaeologists were to dig up that site, they'd see the church, and they'd see Harmony, Pennsylvania. They might see Joseph's words preserved there at the site. They're going to believe Joseph Smith and Emma were there, with the Methodist Church there. And it's all a lie. It's all a con. They manufactured the site. And specifically because the Solomon Spaulding revelation was getting more predominant as the computer search confirmed Sidney Rigdon is the author. So I can see more reason why they want to move it over to Susquehanna and make it official with the restoration of the buildings and having an actual church site there. Because then Mormons don't go to Harmony north of Pittsburgh, where Sidney Rigdon was in Pittsburgh. So this is huge, guys. I don't know if you fully understand it. I hope you do. But they're creating church history. They're creating archaeological dig sites before they become archaeological dig sites. I mean, this is beyond fraud. And Nelson's the main guy involved. So there you go.